The knowledge in the astronomy, geography, and in the dimensions of figure of the earth obtained in the rare speculation of epics. There are Syriac monuments, which means that the temples, obelisks, and pyramids are Syriac monuments because their magical lines were projected in a scale of revolutions of the star Sirius in terms of the standard astrogeological cubit. Here we may read an Egyptian scholar confirming the strong Syrian influence of the evolution of the development of his land in archaic times. I have so far been unable to obtain the further information regarding the documents, but this is the person, the author of this book. But anyone with more time to spare and gather the aptitude of persistence might well meet with success. In antiquity, there were constant references to the pillars of Hermes, Tahuti, from which many ancient writers claim to have gleaned their information concerning the periodic times. Several of I have already in the chapters. This is the person in this particular book. Now, what they are saying here is this, basically, that pyramids, obelisks, and temples are all built around the star system Sirius that I just showed you. That particular star system is called Syriac architecture, based on an article that they got in the British Museum. Well, there's something that was interesting that started around 1986 in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, because the Syriac land is Atlantis. And just so happened that Egypt was one of the capitals of it in Atlantis. The white man just gives you the island of Atlantis because he don't want to connect it with Africa in one landmass, because when he does that, connect with Africa, you would know that on this earth there was one people and one landmass, and it was all black people, and the other race came from that. So he always separates the island of Atlantis from the mainland of Atlantis, which is Africa. You see, that's the key to the whole thing. He separates the island of Atlantis that went down in the Atlantic Ocean from the mainland of Atlantis, which is Africa. But surely you know doggone well you can take South America and Africa and put them together, and they fit like a puzzle. And it was all one landmass. And we also know that there was only one people, because wherever you go on earth, you're going to find black people who was already there. There's big old black heads built on Eastern Island. There's big old black heads in Mexico. Your Olmecs, your Aztecs. You see what I'm saying? There's black warriors on the vestas of the samurai warriors. There's black Chinese. Your black ninja, the ninja that wears black because his original mystery system was started by black people. So he wears all black to symbolize melanin. The white fake Jew that came in during the time of Spain based on the 13 tribes, Arthur Koestler's book, who is a fake Jew that converted into Judaism, that has nothing to do with the original northern Ethiopian at all. The Lubaba witches up here wear all black to try to symbolize melanin. And they wear the Horus lock, the Heruz lock, to symbolize melanin that they don't have. You see. But the Syriac architecture comes from Atlantis, and the new Atlantis is Atlanta, Georgia, which in Atlanta, Georgia's history, they talk about Atlantis reemerged from up under the water, as well as Haiti. And then in the mid-'80s, they started building Syriac architecture. You have the step pyramid of Saqqara that I told you, built by Zosa, and also Imhotep was the architect. The step pyramid of Saqqara that's called a Peachtree 1 building, and it lights up as a step pyramid, and they got beams shooting up. You got obelisks on the CNN, the CNS bank. It's called Wachovia Bank now, and you got obelisks on the. You got a big gold obelisk and pyramids. You got pyramids on the IBM building. You see, Georgia Tech has over doggone 50-something pyramids all over Georgia Tech, as well as the football field with pyramids all over it. They have the Temple of Dendera down there. They have other temples. They got one particular thing, looked like the lighthouse of Alexandria, two temples standing up right beside each other. It's all based on Syriac architecture out of the British Museum. And Atlanta is the new Atlantis. Why? Because also Atlantis has a big woman holding up a bird talking about the phoenix. There's two phoenix in the world, one the fake and one the real. The fake phoenix is Phoenix, Arizona. Ain't nothing out there but white people, and they so racist they don't even want to give Martin Luther King a birthday, and he was their savior. The other phoenix is the black Atlanta, the civil rights seat that's now coming with the black university complex, which is the other phoenix, which is also the new home for the Illuminati, because the old home is New York, named after York Wright, Old York, the old York Wright masonry, who ran Washington, D.C. Whole conversation between George Washington and another concerned person saying how New York run things. He said, I know that, but they run the world. That's the home of the Illuminati. So the new thing is also Atlanta. They're trying to flock down there because you got to get out of the old cities. But this whole thing is going down, and that's Syriac architecture. Now, let me go into a couple other things before you do your answers. I got a few other things I got to deal with.